Now, on the matter of the 10 ambulances, the Secretary for Health must say to us why all of the 10 new ambulances are not in use. What is the reason for undertraining medical staff? What is the reason for having new ambulances that are not distributed throughout the length and breadth of the island? Because it means that both visitors and residents are at risk if something were to happen to you in Paradise. At the end of the day, we are concerned with the persons who grace our shores. For those of you who are visitors, we are grateful for your company. We are also grateful for your business. For those of us who are resident there, we have a duty to them, to our residents, to ensure that basic health care, as is their right, is accessible, so that we continue to stand in the gap for visitors and for residents alike to demand that the healthcare system is ameliorated and that full disclosure is made on all matters of importance. The Tobago Forwards will, of course, keep the media posted on any responses from the TRHA, and in the absence of a response or responses, we will certainly keep you posted on the progress of the litigation. The matter of health is a matter that falls under the THA Act. It falls to the THA. The health is one of the matters on the 5th schedule, notwithstanding the fact that there is a RHA, which ostensibly is administered by the Minister of Health. The THA is the body responsible for health in Tobago, and the applications for information have been copied to the Chief Secretary.
Upon the disclosure of the report or any of the other items that the party has put forward that they need to get from the secretary, the health secretary, what would be the next step after that, upon receipt of these documents?
We rather suspect that what the document will disclose in its unredacted form is the missteps or the gaps in the system, the systems in healthcare administration. Some of those matters will be remediable by staff, additional training for staff, which is a matter we are prepared to advocate for. Some of those matters will be remediable by institutional strengthening, perhaps an entire restructuring of how healthcare is delivered in Tobago. But we can't really know how we intend to progress until the report is disclosed and the gaps are disclosed, admitted, and then we have a way to treat with.
In terms of the organ harvesting,
yes,
with the corneas, have there been any families of the deceased or anybody that has seen something or have been affected coming forward?
Well, what we have is healthcare staff coming forward to say that they have no idea where these corneas are coming from, that they have seen no importation documents or no authorization from the Ministry of Health or no authorization from Customs, that this team shows up, these corneas are produced and they are transplanted.
Okay.
Ms. Moore, morning. Onika James, I-95.
Morning.
While not letting out all your probably sensitive information concerning the organ harvesting,
Yes.
what other than medical staff can you substantiate? Because harvesting corneas, this is very serious, and
Yes.
especially from deceased, we're talking about persons who may have had diseases and so on.
Yes.
This being implanted in someone else.
Well,
Can you
yes.
tell us anything at all?
Well, what I can say is that the harvesting of corneas from deceased person in and of itself is not alarming, because if and when an organ bank is set up in Trinidad, generally speaking, corneas are one of the few, I don't want to say organs, but one of the few organs that you can actually harvest and you can screen for disease, etc. So I am not suggesting that there was not a screening for disease. I trust that there was not. I have not been told that. I'm not accusing of that. But if you are harvesting organs, you must, and screening, or even not screening, once you are harvesting, you must get consent. You must get consent. And it would be alarming to think that we in the Caribbean, in Little Trinidad and Tobago, and in smaller Tobago, is part of an internationally deplored practice of the stealing of organs, even from deceased persons. That is quite alarming.
Good morning, Kimbo Dram from the Express. Again, without divulging patient information, which I know is absolutely, not done. But who are the people? I'm late, so forgive me if I missed it. Who are the people receiving these corneas? And
Now, there is, as you know, every now and again, and it happens all over the country, you would have a drive to perform a particular service. In each of the RHAs, maybe they will do, let's say, a tooth drive where they encourage you to come in. They would have an eye care drive where they encourage you to come in. So this is a free service that is promoted by the RHA to members of the public who may have a need. So out of, let's say, the TRHA eye clinic, you may find people who are in need of corneal transplants, and they will be shifted to that corneal transplant unit, that ophthalmology unit. So these are regular people who are using the public healthcare system in good conscience. And if they are recommended for a corneal transplant, it's free, so it's no cost to them. But there is a cost. The cost is being paid by the taxpayer to specialists who are not part of the RHA. And so that you can see how an illegality could burgeon. Because once you are being paid over and above to perform this service, then you are incentivized to either not ask any questions or deliberately ask the wrong questions.
is there any indication that there may be a black market as well, that patients, maybe some of them, might be desperate and might pay for the service?
Well, I truly have not heard that. But I know healthcare professionals in the TRHA have expressed concern about the source of the corneas, particularly with regard to the sheer volume of the transplants and the fact that it is the same team over and over again. And this team is closely aligned and associated with certain other high-ranking medical practitioners in the TRHA. So there is ample ground for concern.
Again, I know you may want to keep information close to your chest, but certainly, did your sources or any source in the TRHA give you sort of a statistic? Are you seeing 5 cornea transplants a day? Do you have that info?
My information is that these corneal transplants occur so it's not like per day. You schedule it over a month and you schedule a group of people over that month. You do all your corneal transplants and it's over with. And then in another 4 months, you have another group, right? So remember, there is a screening process because there's an eye clinic, but there are large groups being done at regular intervals. And you have to remember too, Tobago is fairly small. It's on a good day, it's 45,000 of us. So if you are having regular corneal transplants, you have to ask yourself a number of questions. Since when did all of Tobago eye go bad? One. You have to ask yourself, and if medical staff is questioning the source of corneas, then they are also questioning indirectly the need for the transplant. You see, once one part of the system is eroded, then all the rest of the system is open to question.
I didn't introduce myself before, sorry about that. Marsha Ramsey from the Tobago News. Are corneas the only organs that we are currently having concerns about in the RHA?
Currently, that is the only concern, but we continue to talk with our partners at the RHA. We continue to say to persons who are concerned to give us the information, and as far as is possible, we will make the necessary inquiries. More than that, we are prepared to demand the necessary information.
So persons who are concerned can contact
Yes.
the Tobago Forwards?
Yes.
Just one more from me, Ms. Moore.
Sorry, Ms. Bowden.
Okay, so one of the things coming across here is that there are massive violations of the constitutional rights of Tobagonians. How strong is the Tobagonian sense of like one's constitutional rights? Is this something you will champion and give people an avenue, a legal avenue for redress?
Definitely. I think for far too long, and again, we are a quiet and proud society. I often tell the joke that we, we pride ourselves in self-sufficiency. We've shut down a bank in Tobago because we are adverse to borrowing. So it's really a society that is not prone to complaint and is rather proud of its self-sufficiency. Now that is good, but it means that we are long-suffering and perhaps to our own detriment. It means that we will suck salt and eat pain. And I think that the outcome of that has not necessarily been to our benefit, so that we have not been speaking out as loudly as we should about these matters. But we are faced with a confluence of matters. One, you would have seen Newsday's headline yesterday. The language was a little, well, the language was interesting, but the comment was made that the birth rates are falling. So, but on the other hand, people are living longer. People are retiring to Tobago. So we have a real issue on our hands in terms of healthcare, because we are now receiving our retirees. And when I say our retirees, I don't just mean Tobagonians who have gone abroad and have come home, but we are receiving retirees from all over the world. We are receiving retirees from Trinidad, we are receiving retirees from the region, we are receiving retirees from North America and Europe. So the question of healthcare as it relates to our retirement, the retirement product that we are selling, as well as the tourism product that we are selling, has to be important. And I think it is giving our people added impetus to complain, because now our complaints are being supported by the complaints of our retirees who have come from a different system, where they're accustomed to having complaints being heard and responded to.